developmentally appropriate practice. Developmentally appropriate practice. Organizing schools around that. It's a matter of building instruction around children's natural inclination, their developmental dispositions. By the way, when you do this, teaching and learning is magic. We align our instruction with children's natural inclination to learn, to find out, to explore, to make sense of the world around them. When we do this, we don't have to control and manipulate and force. We can teach, we can educe, we can educate. In a developmentally appropriate school, there is always a balance between chosen work and required work, meaning children get to make some choices. Not all the time, but some choice, a balance between what they want to learn, how they want to learn, how they want to demonstrate their learning. Sadly, it's just the opposite. No choice. This is what you do. This is how you do it. This is when you do it. Shut up and learn. And we think learning's going to happen. Hello. Developmentally appropriate practice. DAP, if you will. Young children, they learn by playing. That's their mode of coming to know the world. When they imitate you, when they're playing trucks or house or whatever, that is their way of experimenting with roles. When they are pounding things in the water, they're learning about the nature of things. A lot of experimenting and messing about. In preschool and kindergarten, when you see them playing with stuff, that's an important part of learning. We can help them learn about alphabets and letters and this and that and the other thing. Little bits of instruction, but create play based around that. And I'll do that in another lecture. Remember, pre-primary emotions supersede logic. So don't think you're going to logic a kindergarten ear into learning. There should be short periods of conversation or whole group instruction, but long periods of messing around, independent work. All right? Here we see some kids working independently, even though there's a lot of people around them. Working independently, messing about. Back to the basics. Let's get rid of this back to the basics idea. It is absolutely crazy. Yes, we teach the basics of learning, of reading, of writing, and numbers. But that does not mean we drill and kill them to death. Most learning in this pre-primary age is implicit. What about getting them reading in kindergarten, formalized instruction? Again, I say, would you pull your heads out of your butt and read some research? Just because you start earlier doesn't mean they're going to be better later on. And I ask my students, formalized kindergarten reading instruction in kindergarten? Would you require a fifth grader to start dating? No, it's not developmentally appropriate. So why in heaven's name would you get this goofy idea that starting formalized reading instruction in kindergarten is a good idea? Why? Tell me, please tell me why. Children, post-primary, intermediate, they need to explore, try a lot of different things to find their strengths, what they're good at, what they're not good at, what they're interested in. They learn by doing, not sitting and listening. By the way, most human beings at all stages, we learn by doing. And then children need practice making choices. How many times have you heard a teacher say, you just don't know how to make good choices, you make bad choices? Well, we need to give them opportunities to make choices if they're going to learn how to make good choices. All right, early adolescence, middle school, junior high schools. And we're going to look at high schools in just a minute, but most often these are not developmentally appropriate. Why is that? Because people are more interested in test scores and creating educational factories than they are about educating human beings, learning, helping people to become good human beings, knowledgeable. This is what we need with this adolescent population. You need a close affiliation with the institution, smaller, more personal, not these big malls that we think are high schools and junior highs. Adolescents need to interact with small groups of people. Social skills, we need to teach them and practice them, and they need to develop autonomy. Often what we get is these large, depersonalized schools, blah, 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 huge, where you don't know anyone. Often we get students kept in isolation. They're not allowed to talk. No talk of social skills. We're here just to develop the brain, we say. And then we wonder why children have poor social skills and make poor choices. Need to develop autonomy. However, we often give them few chances to make choices. We take a punitive approach to discipline. Make bad things happen to them. We do not teach the correct social skills, interpersonal skills. We need expansive cognitive challenges, open-endedness, chances to demonstrate their competence. However, we often get work that's focused largely on memorizing facts, a standardized curriculum, a test-based curriculum. What we teach, how we teach, why we teach is determined by some stinking test that has absolutely nothing to do with learning. Adolescents need to build self-confidence and a healthy identity, and they need instruction that is proximal, meaning that this is where they're at and just a little ahead. Instead, we often frustrate the pants off of them. That's a metaphor, by the way. We give them labels. Oh, you're this, you're that. The definition of their academic self is based on their distance from a mythical norm. Oh, you're not smart because you don't have that number. That's the norm, that's the average, and you're there, so you must not be smart. We allow schools to define students, define intelligence, and I say that's crazy. Children leave high school, middle school, thinking they're not smart, not able to learn. All human beings can learn. It's nature of being human. The idealized middle school, nurturing setting, less departmentalization. I'm the English teacher, I'm the math teacher, how about the teacher? We need fewer teachers teaching more subjects, that block scheduling, where a teacher might be having integrated instruction covering a lot of different things in smaller groups. We need positive human relationships between the student and the teacher. Teaching starts with a relationship. Until that time, you're just a dancing monkey. A curriculum can be built around social interaction. That is primary. That's where students are at. So why not bring social interaction, have cooperative learning, small group learning, talking, interacting, doing things. And we need curriculum activities and experiences that are student initiated. The idealized middle school, students are able to demonstrate their knowledge in a variety of ways. Speech, art, drama, inquiry, always, not just a test all the time. Writer's workshop, reading workshop, inquiry, independent research, these are all examples of student-centered approaches that are effective. More cooperative learning activities, collaborative work. Now, cooperative learning doesn't mean always mean you give 5 people a grade for one project. No, it's much more complex than that. An internship. Students need to develop autonomy and self-responsible as ability and skills in an area of personal interest. I'm really interested in newspaper writing. Well, let's develop some sort of newspaper or class newspaper. Now, in high school, it's natural that children are going to challenge authority. Well, let's use that, shall we? They're finding out who they are. They're developing their own values and personal identity. They're developing interpersonal skills between people and intrapersonal skills. This is developmentally appropriate. If they didn't do these things, they wouldn't be normal. So instead of trying to repress, control, conform, let us build curriculums and activities around these things. Doesn't have to be pie in the sky. If you understand, you can create these sorts of activities. I have a list of social skills videos and other materials found at my website right there for your pleasure.